How's it going, everyone? My name's Luis Alamilla, and this is Immortals Fenyx Rising. It was just revealed at the Ubisoft Forward event, and Ubisoft was kind enough to let me get an early hands-on with it. Right off the bat, the premise sounded fascinating to me. You play as Fenyx, a young girl chosen by the gods to save her world and now the trapped gods from the evil Typhon. Fenyx will have to explore 7 uniquely designed regions once controlled by the Greek mythology gods, now under the reign of Typhon and his monsters. If I had to break down my hands-on experience with Immortals, it'd be into these 4 categories: exploration, combat, puzzles, and RPG elements. Let's talk about exploration. During my demo, I was able to explore one of the 7 regions, the Forged Lands once ruled by Hephaestus, the god of fire. Now without its god protector, these lands run wild with monsters destroying this once beautiful landscape. Jumping into the gameplay, I was astonished by how expansive the world was. After all, I was only playing a 7th of what the entire open world had to offer, but this small sliver of the demo was gigantic. The start of my demo had me look off from a cliff and the view was marvelous. Mountains off in the distance, an ocean beachside, and old relic statues of the world that laid here before. I wanted to explore it all, and luckily Fenyx had the right toolset for it. She was equipped with a handful of godlike powers that she gained throughout her journey. During my demo, she could jump, climb, glide across giant gaps, and summon seeds quickly to travel across the land. Immediately she felt powerful in her abilities, and just being able to traverse and explore this gigantic world in multiple forms was great. I came across some horses roaming in the grasslands, and to my shock, I could sneak up to them and tame them. Taming these horses added them to my collection of tamed steeds, letting me summon them on command in the future. I went off the story path and found a little beachside that was beautiful as much as it was enticing to explore. Chests hidden around the shore led to new armor and resources for crafting items. There was even a nifty little puzzle that required aiming an arrow just right through these rings in a section of the world. Of course, with any open world game, I wanted to get as high up as I could, and that led to me finding one of these wind tunnels that let me glide high up into the air for a stunning view. Now all of these actions are tied to a stamina gauge located on the character. As I run, jump, swim, glide, and so on, the stamina gauge runs down. These help keep my abilities from feeling overpowered, but not to the extent of it getting annoying. While playing, I noticed a lot of similarities in design to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but with the touch of newfound powers thanks to the mythology it's based on, and I think that truly shines in its combat. Fenyx can perform a light and heavy attack, where the heavy attack does more damage, but the light attack is able to regenerate points towards her godlike attacks. You see, at the bottom right of the screen are your godlike abilities that can be mixed into combat. They felt like Breath of the Wild champion abilities, but way more focused on combat and combos. Mixing in light and heavy attacks with these abilities was a blast. I often found myself feeling like I was playing a Devil May Cry combo heavy game as I fought my way through enemies, mini bosses, and main story bosses. I could tell that the combat was enticing as I found myself actively looking for enemies as opposed to running away from them to continue the story. The mix of ground and air enemies led to combos that would start on the ground but would end with me shooting an arrow at a faraway enemy at just the right moment. The combos felt much more tactical than I expected, but I absolutely loved it. This all ties into the RPG elements that fuel Fenyx's ever-growing abilities, weapons, and armor. Across the 7 regions, chests are hidden away storing new weapons and armor that increase my battle stats. These were pretty light RPG elements, but enough to add the enticement toward a steady power progression. Equally, this made me want to sneak around temples that seemed like hidden away areas that more likely than not probably held some cool resources for stamina or health potions, maybe a sword that would come in handy in a fight. The last gameplay element I want to go over is puzzles. All around the 7 regions, there are these puzzles that lead you to these dimensional puzzle sequences. They put your mobility and critical thinking to the test. The earlier puzzles I came across had me activating switches with arrows and moving stone blocks to start up platforms. Some of these were easier than others, but some of them had me scratching my head enough to just leave them to explore other parts of the world. If you do manage to complete these puzzle portals or vaults, you'll earn points toward being able to upgrade Fenyx's abilities and combo combat. Ultimately, by the end of my demo, I was convinced that I had to cover this game in a full review by the time it comes out. The demo snippet I played for was truly fun. Exploring the open world, fighting these giant enemies with an awesome set of moves, and just getting lost in puzzles, I was enthralled. Exploring new parts of the world to find a new piece of armor that then came in handy in a boss fight, that then led to a puzzle vault. The gameplay loop was there and it had me hooked. Those were my first impressions after playing Immortals Fenyx Rising, a game I didn't really have much anticipation for, but one I can't wait to get my hands on again now. If you have any questions about the gameplay, I'll be more than happy to answer them in the comments below or over on Twitter, link in the description. Let me know what you guys thought about the Ubisoft Forward announcements, and let's get that discussion going in the comments. I'll see you all in the next video.